Yo, G's, how we doing? Let's get some ones in the chat if you can hear me. We got a big one today. Vivanko, what's up? Rotten, what's up? Marco, yo. Gwen, how we doing? What's up, Oppenheimer? All right, cool. Everyone can hear me. Let's just wait for some more people to get in. Voiceflow made some wicked cool changes, so we're going to jump into those today. Awesome. All right, let's get into it. So previously in Voiceflow, right, you guys should be familiar with this from the demo build section of the courses. If you use a knowledge-based response step, Voiceflow is super rigid and it can be pretty annoying, right? Because what happens is when you use the Voiceflow, the knowledge-based response step, and it does not find an answer, it's just going to say, hey, sorry, I didn't find an answer. And then you have to do a whole bunch of routes to basically make sure, the chat agent has conversational memory to make sure it can then, take that it didn't have an answer and give you some type of answer. And what Voiceflow has done is I've just gone in Voiceflow, hit create new agent, and now they have this new interface. So I can enter the agent name. I'm just going to put in KB search because that's what we're going to be exploring today. And basically what they do is they now allow you to, they give you this super useful base template that you can then branch all your other builds off of. And it's a super capable, super competent agent right out the gate. And you just have to tweak a couple things. So let's get into it. So I basically just wrote the name, all that, just hit get started. Now it's saying import a web page. Give your agent a little info about your company. You can add more data later. So what I did is I just went to jointherealworld.com. I'll just copy the URL, paste this in, hit import. And now this is going to be importing into the knowledge base. It's just taking a second. All right, cool. And then this is one of their new features of the UI. You can test your agent directly down here at all times. I'm not going to show you that right now, but here we're in the knowledge base. You can see we have jointherealworld.com. If I go to workflows, you can see they give you a bunch of these base workflows that come with these starting templates. So let's just jump into the home workflow. Now, what I want to do is, so they basically give you a couple of things to start. You can book a demo, you can submit a ticket. I'm just going to get rid of these right now and just show off the new knowledge base feature. So I'm just going to collapse these, right click, delete, right click, delete. So now we're just listening for an intent. And so what this is doing, if I start at this Voiceflow card, it's listening for an intent. And the only other intent that we have, let me just delete these over here. Delete this workflow, submit a ticket, delete this workflow. Only other intent that we have, only other trigger that we have, I should say, is this knowledge base step. So if I go home and I run, this is going to redirect me to this workflow, which I'm going to break down in just a second. So before we get on with this whole workflow, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So if I just go out and I drag and I grab a typical response AI step and I say knowledge base and I ask it a question, the question will be last utterance, and the instructions, I'm just going to leave those off. Let me just quickly grab a capture card. Where is this? Listen, capture, cool. Drag this here, drag this to then the response AI step. And now if I ask something that's not on our knowledge base, like, we'll see, let's say, how much does a McDonald's burger cost? Okay, well, this triggered our intent, so 1 second. Let me just make sure this doesn't trigger our intent. Listening for intent. Let me just delete this really quick. And I believe this will make it so it doesn't trigger. Let me just double check. This might still trigger it. Let me just double check. Train agent. So you guys aren't really familiar yet with, if you've experimented yourself, you're not really familiar with how these workflows work and these different triggering mechanisms. We're introduced to them a little bit in the demo builds review, but anyway, let's see if this goes ahead and triggers it. I don't believe it will. If it does, then it's all good. I'm just going to move on. Yeah, all right, so it still triggered it. All good. Let me just show you what we're doing. So if we're going to listen for an intent, right, it's doing this. So first we're going to set our AI agent persona. This is part of their template. You're a helpful AI chatbot for a business. I'm just going to write, you're a helpful AI chatbot for the best online educational platform on the planet. Your goal is to help the user answer questions. And so what this does is it's going to go through and trigger this knowledge-based response intent. So you know what? What I'm going to actually do is just duplicate this. I'm going to, one moment, geez, create a new agent, KB search demo, because I really just want to demonstrate what this is doing without dumping into the template first. So I'm going to skip importing the knowledge base. Now I'll do this again. While that's happening, let me check the chats. Yeah, you can set it to not look for your intents in the main input, but I'm just going to do it separate really quickly, just so it's more clear of an example. So basically, I'm just going to go through home. I'm going to delete all of these workflows. Delete, delete, delete. I just want to give you guys a clear visual of what's happening here. So Command A, delete everything. We got a blank slate now. Those are just components, just deleting those. So basically, with the response AI step, we'd listen, we'd get a capture, we would then go to a response AI. This is going to be knowledge base, last utterance. Cool. Now let's see what happens. How much does a McDonald's burger cost? McDonald's. All right, cool. It should give us not found, right? Yeah, path not connected. So basically, if you were to go into the knowledge base and you were to preview the knowledge base, and I were to say, how much does a McDonald's burger cost? And then send this, not found. You can see